Alright, BobalosRex here. It's Monday, so you know what time it is. It's most iconic sets of World of Warcraft. And let me tell you, we're on Wrath. And I said this last video, I'm going to say it every video from now on. My opinions. But I'm taking a lot in to make these opinions, and I'm doing it on a tier set as a whole. The whole thing, all classes. Now, you can probably tell which set I picked for Wrath of the Lich King. And for me, it's tier 10. It's ICC. It's the Lich King armor sets. And to me, there's something special about these. So, you'll notice it when I bring up the full sets, that these sets are actually designed around a Scourge unit. Alright? A lot of sets in the past didn't really have a theme across the set. Alright? It's just like warrior stuff for warrior, paladin stuff for pet, and they themed it off of the class. They still themed it off the class, but they had a theme because it was the Lich King. It was the ICC. So they themed it off of Scourge minion types, and clearly warrior was themed after the Yimajara, the Rykul. And I got a shield over here. I got Quell Dalar. A lot of people already know that sword. It's a good sword. And yeah, you know, Wrath Classic's out. It's a good time. Not Wrath Classic. ICC in Wrath Classic is out. So to me, this is the most iconic set of Wrath. And we'll go over all of them at the in a little bit. But let's look at all these sets now. So you got the Geist, the Rogue. I put some Maldraxxus stuff on him. I think he's looking good. Put some Wrath weapons up. You got DK with my Shadowmourne. Clearly it's themed off the Lich King himself. You know. Paladin also has got this, like... To me, Paladin, I can't really place the unit, but it's got Cultist vibe, but also Death Knight vibe. I'm rocking Valinir. But yeah, there's the Paladin. Hunter was the Crypt Stalker. So that's the Crypt Lords, you know, the big Nerubians, not the normal spiders, but the big fancy beetle ones. Anubarak, you know. For Druid, it was Lashers. It's called Lasher Weaves. We saw Lashers in Wrath of the Lich King. So for Druid, it was just like, hey, we have these mobs in Wrath. Let's use them. That's the theme. You're an angry plant. You know, Druid looks alright. Shaman is another one themed after the Rykul, the Frost Witch, and the cool thing about the Lich King tiers, we had the 3 different sets. You had the normal, which you could buy, which is like normal 10-man. Then you had like 25-man, which you would get the upgraded pieces for, and then you'd have the heroic, and then there's the third look. And see, they started to dabble in making the looks different, because if you look at the other shaman sets, they don't have this ice, but this one does. This ICC tier 10 started a lot of things they would use later. Now, where do we go? Mage. We all know what this is themed after. The Sand Lane. The Blood Mage set. It looks good. I got a big book. And I put some Shadowlands Mog in the back there. And now we got Warlock. Looking demonic. This is clearly cultist themed. 100%. Looking spooky. And then you got another cultist themed. With the priest. You know, this is literally called the Acolyte. And yeah, so for Wrath, I had to put tier 10. And now let's take a look at all the Wrath sets. So I have it pulled up here. Alright. So now we're going to be looking at... Yeah, so here's the first one. So here's all the sets. You got Tier 7, Tier 8, Tier 9 Alliance, Tier 10. So why didn't I choose the next set? Well, as much as I like some of the armor pieces here, one, it was redone. And I don't really think it's iconic. You know, that tier was super easy. There was some cool recolors. You can see the other recolors up here. Like Dreadnought looks good. The Rogue set pops when you really look at it. The Mage and stuff, the Druid. But it's not really iconic, you know? And I wasn't a big Nax guy either in OG. But now let's look at Tier 7. You know, Tier 7. This DK set is really good. The Druid set is good. I did barely see people in the Hunter. I personally like this set. You know, the Rogue set's pretty good. The Priest set. All of Tier 8 is really good. Tier 8 would have been my second choice. You know, look at this version of it. I really like some of these sets. Especially the Warlock, Rogue, Mage, DK. All of these are good. Even the Warrior, okay? Alright? It was a tough choice. But then here's something we can all agree on. Tier 9, the Trial of the Crusader sets suck. Literally the worst sets in the game. I don't know a worse set than the Tier 9 sets. I would rather put on the AQ sets than Tier 9. If you like Tier 9, you know what? You do you. Live your life. Be happy. But oh my god, is Tier 9 so bad. Ugh. Ugh. But I picked Tier 10. So let's look at all of them. There's the blue version, so Lich Kingy. There's the Lash. There's the Crypt Stalker. Blood Mage. The Paladin set. The Acolyte. I don't know what that one was called, but it's Geisty to me. I can't remember off the top of my head. Frost Witch. I can't remember the name of that one either. And then Ymajar. All these sets look great. All of these. And this is the full Sanctified. This is the... No, because the red one's the top one. Alright, but yeah, all these sets look good. And let's look at this version. So this is the Heroic Sanctified. See, look, the Frost Witch wasn't even the Heroic version. Yeah, the Warrior set looking good. All these sets looking great. I love all of these sets, pretty much. And here's something I'm going to talk about for this. Wrath, Tier 10 is what I start to see. I think I kind of mentioned it, is where they theme an armor set, right? So look at Tier 7. It's just Warrior, DK, Druid, Crypt Stalker, so they made this a little Nerubian-y. Mage is like its own thing, Paladin its own thing, Priest. All these sets have their own like little thing, and it's class-based. You know, it's not really themed all together. Same thing with these. These aren't like a Titan theme. They're just sets. Tier 8, it was themed alright. Horrible. But Tier 9 is when you get this theme. Alright? For a set. Scourge Commanders, the Lich King tier sets were Scourge units all themed together. Alright? You can tell there's some connection between these. Alright? And we'll notice it going forward, especially in Cataclysm. Start to think about some of the Cataclysm sets. I'll just mention a few. Firelands, themed about the Firelands. The original theme has Void themes about it. Not Void, but like Twilight Cultist themes. The Deathwing set, the Dragon Soul set is dragon themed. And we start to see that more going forward, and look at where we're at now. where Vault of the Incarnates is themed around the Vault of the Incarnates, but it's still classes in regards to the Primalist theme. Aberrus was a throwback to a lot of themes, but if you look across all the class sets, it's themed. Amir Drasil has some of that stuff that's themed. Like, it's thematic. Is it also class-based? Yes. But they also have a through line. And I think that's one of the coolest thing about sets going forward. And next week, we'll be talking about Cataclysm, of course. And we may notice that in the Cataclysm set, armor tier set that I pick. But yeah, for me, Wrath of the Lich King, most iconic set is tier 10, the ICC set. And the cool part is, you can go buy it, the base, and just start getting some for yourself. If you want to use it for Mog, farm more ICC, maybe you get Invincible. Good luck on that. And yeah, that's my most iconic Wrath set. Thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all next week, or next video. Bye-bye.